Okay, sorry about that. I started to restart the thing, and then I realized I'd not changed the stream information, as I often don't. Okay, here we go. This is Super Hang On. I played this game quite a bit as a kid because, hey, back then you don't have many games. You play what you've got. It's one of the rare Mega Drive games I've never gone back to and like really replayed. Uh, unlike the other ones, this is not a bad game. I guess racing games don't really appeal to me. I'm pretty bad at racing games. That's kind of the thing. Like, I always wanted to come back to this game and play through it, but it's kind of like I felt like I'd need to put in the time to get good at it to actually enjoy it, because I don't race games well. It's never been a thing that clicked for me. We have two modes. Stop interrupting me. I'm trying to choose a mode. I don't remember there being two modes. I guess arcade mode first? Didn't expect a racer, yeah. Oh, okay. Different stages, different difficulties. Beginner, junior, senior, expert. Okay. I guess we start with beginner. Outrider Crisis. I think that's the music I remember. That's the classic music. What are my controls here? Oh wow, turning lags a whole bunch. You have to really hold it over to make him lean that way. Didn't expect a racer, yeah. This is definitely the odd one out amongst the multi-pack 1 games. Yeah, it is. This is Super Hang On. Because you're hanging onto the bike, I guess? This is a classic game. This is one of the famous Mega Drive games back in the day. So what do all my... Okay, I've hit max speed, I guess. Trying to figure out if my... Oh, okay. I see now. So this one's accelerate, then I've got my turbo button. For the straights, I guess. I don't know what happens if I use that too much. I guess it's just... Maybe it's just that steering is hard? Or maybe it overheats and explodes and kills me horribly. And I'm guessing that my final button is brake, which I haven't dared to press because I don't want to lose all my speed. But I mean, it's a racing game. Why would you use a brake? Brakes make you go slower. Racing games are about going faster. Okay. There's got to be another checkpoint coming up, right? Wow, it's night already. Checkpoint, please. Checkpoint. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm remembering what's hard about this one. You get time when you go through checkpoints, and it's harsh to get to those checkpoints. Oh no! Well, I'm dead. Come on, fire those boosters. What does that say? Bravo? Brave? Yeah, so I crashed once, so I'm almost certainly not going to make it to the next checkpoint. Is how I remember this usually works. Look out for that tree! Weirdly, even though you were talking about the previous tree, presumably, because of stream delay, you still timed that just on for me hitting a tree. So, nicely done. Very prescient of you. Game over. These games only get harder. We didn't finish course 1, guys. This game does not leave you a lot of time to decide which mode you want to play. Let's try original mode and see what the difference is. Oh man, oh. I remember this. This was the actual reason I ever played this game, even though it was a racer. You have like a story mode. I forgot all about this. Man, I would have played this game ages ago if I'd remembered there was like a story mode. We got ourselves a rival. Mia Ferraru, who's really fast. We got our mechanic over there, and we're sponsored by Bandana Wearing Pharmacy. If it's money, let me know. Let's play around with these options. What parts do we have? Iron cradle, normal muffler, regular oil, dock normal engine, drum brake, normal tires. Okay. Oh, that's our engineer, Ricardo Montoya. My name is Ricardo Montoya. You killed my bike. Prepare to die. I don't have any money, so I guess I can't change any of these. Can I change my mechanic? What are my options? Okay. Oh, I buy new, better mechanics. This guy is the discount mechanic. We got Asawa Miki, Kita Kotara, Takeshi Onda. I think they're actually arranged in Western style, the names. Kotara Kita, Miki Asawa. Jonah J. Jameson? When did you become a Japanese mechanic? Tom Jones, Sonia Ilvich, Mickey Way. Okay. Well, it looks like we're stuck with Ricardo for now. Let's race. Looking for pictures of Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man going to ruin the races? He's doing an editorial on how racing has been ruined by people like Spider-Man who use their superpowers to win races and nobody else gets a chance. He's a menace, I tell you. He's a villain. Let's try the second soundtrack, I guess. So I guess we gotta... I don't remember exactly how this works. I guess we get money by winning races? I don't remember exactly what the storyline is here. If there's like a tournament we gotta win or something, or if we've gotta make sure we don't get knocked out. Okay. Next of kin earplugs, or spark plugs. The irony that I was killed by a sign that says next of kin. I'm imagining the police officer leaning over my body, looking up at the sign and saying, yes, that is who we should inform. So I think I've already lost this race. I assume that was my rival at the front of the pack. She's long gone. Get back on the road, come on. Somehow this feels way harder than the last one. Right, I can't put my finger on what it is. I don't feel like the track's that much harder than the previous one was, but somehow I'm having more trouble staying on it. Actually, you know what? I guess that makes sense, because in the other one I'm presumably using like an upgraded bike, and in this one I'm using a super basic bike. Because I start out with a trash bike and have to upgrade it. I've got no grip on these wheels. I'm using terrible oil and my engine is awful. No wonder I'm doing badly. Can I beat anybody? Do I even have a turbo boost in this mode? If I could ever get there with this awful acceleration. We might find out. She is really fast. A bird. My favorite kind of bird is a bird. It's double bird. It's like some sort of two bird. Can a bird? Well, one normally can't, but two can. Okay, we've got the straights, We can catch up here. I'm good at the bits where there aren't any corners. Out the way, fellows. Hey, we did a lap. That was awful. How many laps do I have to do? Nice pun. You're contradicting yourself. It's the same sign I hit last time. That corner comes out of nowhere. There should be like an arrow up or something, you know? Oh yeah, because I've got start and... I've got S and G, and I've gone halfway between them. Start... Oh, goal. Start and goal. That must be what it is. I think finish doesn't start with a G. Neither does end. Oh, I need some better wheels. Come on. I'm not hitting the acceleration. I'm turning as hard as I can, and I'm not staying on the road. What do I do there? Also, when do I get my rocket boosters? I think I have to pay to repair the bike after the races. I have to make enough money to pay the repair bill, and if I can't, then it's game over. I don't really remember, but I think that was a thing. I mean, I have wrecked this bike. I hit the same sign twice. Come on, turn. I'm hitting the brakes, okay? You squeezed a brake out of me, game. I hope you're proud. You guys can even see when I'm braking because the brake light comes on. I gotta get a good score. I gotta get enough money to fix this bike that I've already smashed up, and still get some upgrades. I want to get Jonah J. James. No, not the bird sign. Not the bird sign. Please, no, not the bird sign. I want to get Jonah J. Jameson as my mechanic. I've got him some pictures of Spider-Man that I want to sell. Okay, I almost turned too far there. Out of the way, guys. I've overtaken some people. I'm not going to be last. Is there still a prize for not last? Is there like a participation prize? Or is it a thing where I have to pay to enter? Goal! I'm willing to believe that was my rival just in front of... No! I overtook my rival. I've lost. We beat the rival, guys. We are champs. Your lap. Oh wow. We beat the rival by 2 seconds. The rival must have been the last person we overtook. That was a close one. Nice. Pharmacy. For 1200 we'll go. I guess that I'm getting 1200 per win? Is that what he means? Game over then? Have we finished the whole game? We've bested our rival? I mean, what else is there to do? You know, I'm gonna hit save real quick. What happens when I go to end? Does that take me... Okay. That doesn't end like the particular contest and move me on to the next one. It just takes me back to the title screen. Okay. We can afford a better mechanic. Change the frame. Oh, he's telling me which things are broken. But can I upgrade the tire? Okay, here we go. Normal, radial, high performance, slick, original slick. Regular, manual, top, private original. Carl, works original, private original. Ventilated disc, double disc, anti-skid. Arc normal, dock normal. Dock V4, Turbo V4, Ceramic Turbo, Twin Turbo. Iron Cradle, Double Cradle, Aluminium Double Cradle, Aluminium Space, Titanium Space, Titanium Monocoque. It's a lot of stuff to buy in this game. So I'm guessing things get damaged less the better mechanic we've got. How do I back out of this menu? Okay, there we go. What do you think, guys? Should we ride on with this, or have you seen everything that happens in this game? I think in the long run it's going to be cheapest to upgrade on mechanic now, right? Let's get a new mechanic and worry about upgrading things next time. I want to do at least... Okay. That's... Yeah, would let me out of that menu? Okay, thank you. Can ride on? Okay. Let's see where this goes. Do we have to beat the rival a certain number of times or something? We've not heard all the musics yet, so we can't leave yet. Winning run. This is what we're doing next. How come they get so much better acceleration than we do? What kind of engine are they using? That was the same sign, wasn't it? Accident! My frame is broken! Retire! I broke my bike, guys! Don't just crawl. I broke my bike, so I got kicked out of the race. 400 can pay off. Okay, you're saying me 400 for losing. The frame has to be changed. Runs great. Isn't the brake dangerous? Muffler has to be changed. Runs great. Okay. I mean, it does have to be changed because we broke the bike, but I don't have 1200. I don't just crawl. She's making fun of me because I had to crawl back to the starting line after breaking my bike and also both my legs on that sign. Guys, I think we're suddenly seeing where the challenge is in this game. I guess we race again? On this still broken bike? My frame is... So I can't race at all. The bike's not being repaired. My sponsor still gave me 400 when I didn't pass the starting line. That's a generous fellow. See if you'll eventually give me enough to repair my bike. Because that's 2 races in a row that I've not passed the starting line. I assume I can get kicked out if I lose enough. Is the sponsor going to start getting mad at me yet? If I don't finish enough races. Win 1, lost 3. That doesn't even cover it. Win 1, did not complete 3. The frame has to be changed. It does. It's no denying that. Okay. Well, we fixed that at least. Can't afford to fix the other things. Pharmacy guy looks pretty dodgy. He does, kind of. He's got all that stubble and he's wearing an off-center bandana headband thing. Yeah, you don't need brakes to drive. It's like she says, brakes are dangerous. Look. Isn't the brake dangerous? Yeah, never use the brake. It's not safe. Let's see if we can hear more than a few seconds of this song. So I guess I need to make a bit more of an effort to not crash into every single thing. Hear about that guy who got arrested for driving a car with no seats or steering wheel? Okay, every time I hit that sign, every single time. If it doesn't have seats, does it still constitute a car? If it doesn't have a steering wheel, does it still constitute driving? I feel there's some logical failures in both that action and arguably the arrest. How was that a thing that happened? Did he build the car in his backyard or something? Come on, please, 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 please. Oh, I need to get some better tires or something so I can take these corners. He was sat on a bucket and using a wrench to turn the steering column. Okay. I mean, I guess for a custom-built car I can kind of see the bucket thing. But using a wrench to turn the steering column is, I can understand the arrest. The police aren't sure what the car originally was because there's so many bits missing and cobbled together. It's Frankenstein's car. It's a mongrel car. Like this bike is soon to be. No, hit the brakes, hit the brakes! I said hit the brakes, not the sign. Accident, your muffler fell off. I mean, at least it didn't disqualify me this time. What does a muffler even do anyway? It just makes the bike quieter, right? I don't want a quiet bike. I want everyone to hear me coming. That's what you buy a bike for. To be an awful person and upset everybody within a 12-mile radius. Okay, my rival's only 8 seconds ahead of me. I'm starting to think my rival is not a very good racer. I mean, I'm driving along with half a bike. And she's still only just ahead of me. You can get fined for making too much noise now? I did not know that. I mean, in theory you can get fined for a lot of things while driving, and I don't think most of them happen very often. Speeding, parking in no parking areas, etc, etc. Heck, police don't respond to murders these days. It's too much to get them to worry about driving. By muffler they may mean exhaust. Okay, well if the exhaust has fallen off I can see where that would be a problem. I suppose my question about that news story is, was that guy insured for that car? I mean, if he wasn't, then he's already breaking the law just by being in it, but... Did he manage to get some insurance company to pass that, or did he just have one of the insurance things where you can drive any car? I'm genuinely curious about that. Was that car street legal? Like, was there possibly some confusion about whether it was okay to drive it or not? Okay, did I... Somehow in that race where I lost part of my car, I still beat my rival. My rival is terrible at this. I suppose I don't know how many parts of the car my rival's lost. Or bike. Maybe she's not even got any wheels at this point. Yeah, he was probably insured on another car, but he probably had the insurance that lets him drive anyone's car. Because that is a thing you can get, like universal insurance. Guessing it hadn't passed its MOT. That is a good point. That's true. Even if he's valid to drive any car, the car itself still needs to be approved. So yeah, you're right. There's no way that was arguably street legal in any sense. My rival was like 10 seconds behind me after that terrible run. You can drive other cars if necessary. I'm not 100% sure what that means. Hang on, I just want to check something real quick. Okay, still 2,000 for him. I can't sell my current one for the 1,000 and then get the next guy for another 1,000. Does the if necessary mean that, like, if it's parked in a dangerous place or something, you can move it out of the way? Or in scenarios where it's needed to move it, where it's important that somebody does it, you can drive it, but not if it's just for casual stuff? I know I can only drive my car. Shouldn't you change frame? Lady, there's nothing wrong with my frame, okay? I mean, maybe I don't work out as much as some people, but I mean, I'm healthy, I'm in good condition. Oh, you mean the bike, right. Shouldn't I change engine? Well, it's let's be honest, it's one or the other. I don't have enough money for both. Brake has to be changed, okay, but the muffler has to be changed. At least the oil runs great. We still got tires. I'm not sure why some things are yellow and some are white. Oh, is the muffler white because I don't have a muffler at this point? But the muffler has the same damage reading as the bike. You can drive other cars but shouldn't do it routinely. Okay. What do we fix here? I mean, if the frame breaks again, we're in trouble. But the muffler really needs repairing. And we can't do both. If we do the muffler, we can do some other things. We can get the brakes fixed. Now, Elan, this is a money simulator. Tell me what to do. What do you advise we work on? Fix as many as I can. Okay, we'll start with the muffler then, since that's the one that's busted. Runs great. Well, I guess we can fix the engine and the brake. And we've still got 100 left over. If we can win the next race, we can upgrade the frame. Assuming we don't break it. Okay, here we go. Hard road. I hope it's not a hard road because our frame is gonna break in like one crash probably. Can I get a better sponsor? If I do well enough. Is it what's the progression in this game? Can I get better sponsors? Can I get better rivals? Is there like a season? Do I get to the end of a racing season and we look at where I'm at in progression? I have a lot of questions about how this game works. Well, is it broken? Is it broken? Okay, we're still in the race. I used my brakes and everything. And I fixed those brakes. They should be working this time. Why are the brakes so terrible? We need upgraded brakes. Is there a scenario in this game where I get enough money to actually upgrade my stuff instead of desperately trying to fix things that are breaking as I race? If I upgrade stuff, do I then have to pay the same money each time I want the upgrade repaired? I've got to get a better sponsor if that's going to happen. There's no way I'm keeping some better equipment functioning on that money. I mean, maybe if I had a really good engineer so things don't break as fast? The TT? The what? Turbo Tournament? Oh dear. Lady Meow! No! My frame! Lady Meow, you talked to me and I looked at chat and I hit the bird sign and my frame is broken. Don't think pro racers use brakes? This is what I've been saying. Braking makes you go slower. Going slower doesn't win races. You go full speed, but apparently full speed has side effects where you smash your bike into bits. On the plus side, nothing else broke. Everything else survived that collision just fine, at full health. Apart from the actual bike itself. Can get new sponsors, okay. I feel like we're never gonna get new sponsors at this rate, but this means we can't race because we don't have a working frame anymore. I have to fail to cross the starting line, bizarrely not get kicked out by my sponsor. Until I've got enough to replace this this damaged frame. My rival is really fast. Hydrate bot was in the list of users but has now disappeared. Yeah, we've not seen the hydrate bot again. I think maybe it's just not working anymore. I might have to... I did see a post from like... I did Google it and see a post from like a year ago saying that hydrate bot was broken and somebody was making a new one to replace it. But then later comments said that it was working fine again, so I figured it was still fixed. But maybe it's broken again. Can't I just throw bombs and things at the other racers? Maybe later on I can afford such things. At the moment I can't afford a bike, so... Oh, the thing's changed. I now have 0 wins and 1 loss. A moment ago I had 1 win and 4 losses, so... Or something like that. Like 2 wins, 4 losses? So I guess there are like seasons. Maybe if I lose every race in a season I get kicked out of the game, and if I win every race I go up to the next level? That's how racing games should work, yeah. I need to play Rock and Roll Racing on here sometime. That's such a great game. And it has everything that a racing game needs. Probably the best racing game ever made. Okay, we've got all our stuff at maximum health. We just need to win this race and not break anything, and maybe we can actually get some upgrades. Stop hitting the next of kin sign. There hasn't been a single race where I have not hit that one sign. Every single time I hit that one sign. It's my bane, it's my nightmare. It seeks me out. Yeah, Rock and Roll Racing had a great soundtrack. You know how many bands have done covers of that soundtrack? Like, there's some really big name bands that you wouldn't think would do video game covers, but they've done versions of that soundtrack. It's amazing. How did I went through that tree. I should have died there. But yeah, I think it's really cool that a lot of bands have looked into that game. Pretty much inspired the whole genre of rock and roll. I mean, changed the name of the game in the music industry. Just goes to show, you know, video games can have an effect on the world. That's video games being art right there. Inspiring even major bands to produce new, exciting things. And who can blame them? It's a great soundtrack. Okay. No, not the bird sign. I didn't see it coming. I was looking at the trees. I should have been keeping my eyes on the road. I bet the frame's already wrecked again. I hit 2 signs. It's not good. I'm never gonna get any upgrades at this rate. I need to get some new tires or something so that I can take corners and not hit every single sign. What is Bird Bird even advertising? It's advertising Bird Birds. Don't settle for a bird that's not a bird. Get a Bird Bird. Bird Birds are the bird company. Like, if you want quality bird, get a Bird Bird. It's really the only choice. Can I upgrade in lieu of repairing? I mean, I think so. I mean, it looks like you don't so much repair something as you buy a new one. So I can buy the upgraded one instead of the new regular one if I've got enough money. Okay. Which I'll probably do when next time I have to repair the wheels, because the next tire is only like $100 more. It's just a few dollars more, guys. I'll buy some $400 tires instead of $300 if it helps me turn a corner and not break my fragile frame every time. That guy rammed me off the road. Outrageous. Yeah, for a few dollars more. Accident, that guy crashed into me and he knocked my muffler off. I want to exchange insurance details. I feel that accident was not my fault. Cripes, this is the second time the muffler's fallen off. The bot is back. Look, if the bot's not telling me to drink, then I don't really care if the bot is... Oh, come on, that was a new frame! I only just got that frame! Right now this game is telling me to drink. I don't need a muffler, but I need a frame. We had everything fully repaired on that race and we didn't make it to the end. How do I still have a sponsor? I have half a bike. At this point, more than half of my races, I have not crossed the starting line. More than half my races, I've not crossed the starting line. Probably about 3/4 of the races, I've not crossed the finish line. My sponsor is using all this as a front to smuggle drugs. That's the only explanation of why he's still supporting me. I mean, I was about to suggest that the sponsor is just my dad. It was $400 of my pocket money. I can use it to race if I want. Drink every time the frame breaks. Drink every time I crash into a sign. Let's compromise here. My sponsor is my shady uncle, who tells me he is giving me $400 as like spending money to help me keep going and build my career as a racer, but is actually somehow using my bike to smuggle drugs. The racetrack crosses the border at one point, and every time I crash on the other side of the border, somebody comes along and unloads the drugs. That's how this works. Okay, I can get a new frame anyway. I have 4 losses this season. What if I lose every race this season? Have I finished a race this season? The frame broke in the first race. I crashed in the second, and then for the next 2, my frame was broken. I've not finished a race. Never mind won one. 3 of the 4 races this season, I've not crossed the starting line. You can vote on the next Tuesday game again. You should not be able to do that. Have you voted on phone and computer or something? You're on the same account. I feel like that should not work that way. Do you get 1 vote per day or something? 1 vote per stream? I wish I knew how the voting bot actually worked. I wish it came with like any instructions. Go on, let's get out there again. No, computer is still down. Okay. I guess you get 1 vote per stream. Oh, Novellon can't vote again. Accident, my muffler fell off. Yeah, I didn't start with a muffler. I'm driving very slowly, it feels. Is this because I don't have a muffler? Okay, look, if I can complete a race, that'd be super. Oh my gosh. Guys, did you see that? That's never happened before. We went past the next of kin corner and we didn't crash. Guys, I think it's finally happened. I've gotten good at this game. Dodge! Dodge! Get out the way! Crazy motorbiking skills, heck yeah. Not everybody has these skills to not crash into every sign they go past. Maybe you never really voted yesterday? I mean, maybe. You were doing it on the phone, which is not a reliable way to do it. But if you didn't, somebody else voted for Pirates. Maybe somebody else watching saw you trying to vote Pirates, took pity on you, and backed you up. We've gotten yet more votes for Pokemon. I feel like that one's probably going to go through at this point. But if it's giving you another vote, I guess I'm not going to say that you can't. It's not like I can really check it. I don't... Okay, I still hit the bird sign. There are 4 votes now, no 5. I'm assuming that Lady Meow has just voted again. Did she vote for Pokemon this time, or is she stuffing the ballot for the Pirates game? Tuesday we'll try and vote again. Voting has concluded, and the results are as follows. For Pokemon Silver, 7 votes. And for Sid Meier's Pirates, 25,000 write-in votes. Okay, I'm actually ahead of my rival somehow. You're just gonna vote for all 3 of them to nullify your input. You could just, you know, you could just not vote if that's what you really want. Accident. My muffler fell off and my brakes are giving out. I hit the sign this time. Dodging the sign was clearly a one-time thing. I would have dodged it this time if my brakes weren't giving out. Okay, if I can beat my rival on this one, I can probably afford to replace the muffler and the brakes. I just need to get to the end. Oh boy, those brakes are really gone. Those are just doing nothing. In fact, they really are doing nothing. Even the brake light is not coming on when I hit the brakes. I function... Okay, at this point I functionally don't have brakes. Can I get sponsored by Bird? That's where the big money is. I mean, I assume that's the end goal, yeah. I gotta work my way up, though. I gotta get sponsored by Next of Kin Oil first. Why am I still braking? That's not how you motorbike? I'm not braking anymore. Couldn't brake if I wanted to. I'm breaking the brakes. The only... Currently the brakes are the only part of this bike that's not braking. Oh, we go straight into the bird sign. Look, I don't have brakes, I can't avoid it. By the time I've seen it, it's too late to take the turn at this speed. You don't think next of kin will sponsor me? They're spending all their money fixing their signs. They should put the signs in better places then. Maybe I have got better luck with Bird. They're rich enough that they don't care about these signs. They can afford... Bird can afford 1,000 of these signs. Goal! We made it to the end. So we've not lost every race in this season, at least there's that. Okay, we got $1,200. What can we fix? Isn't the frame dangerous? The frame is about to break again. Don't bird. Isn't the engine dangerous? I think we're still on our original engine, so I'm not surprised that that's busted. Okay, how much have we got? We can just afford to replace the engine, the brake, and the muffler. Or we can get a new frame. We can't afford even a level 2 muffler. Or a level 2 brake. What are we thinking, guys? Do I upgrade the outside of the bike or all of the insides? I'm not sure even a repaired frame will survive me driving with no brakes, but even with brakes I'm not sure that I will not crash enough to not smash my frame. Insides? All the insides, okay. New muffler, new brake, new engine. So we need to survive the next race so that we can fix the frame, and then maybe, just maybe, we can upgrade the tires. Get the radical tires. Then we can start saving up to get a better frame, or maybe a better mechanic. Oh wow, that was close. We were less than a second ahead of our rival. Just don't crash. I will take that under advisement. Can you imagine what sort of mess we'd be in if we were still with the starting mechanic? Although I don't know exactly what the mechanics do, so maybe that was a waste of money, and the money I used for the new mechanic I should have just spent on better gear. I'm guessing the mechanics mean that things break slower. Like, things take longer to get broken, and then I can spend more money on upgrading stuff. Oh, for the love of... I dodged it once. You all saw me dodge it once. I feel like I need to take this slow, except I'm not going to beat the rival that way. Well, maybe I would, because if I'm not crashing, I'm not spending time getting back on my bike. I need to play this a little safer, I guess. Also, it's probably better to come second and get the lesser money than not finish, get the lesser money and also have to buy a new frame for my bike. Not by much, but it's a little better. Yeah, actually, from what I'm vaguely recalling about this game, the later sponsors, if you lose enough, then they'll ditch you and you go back to an earlier sponsor. Out the way, dude. But I don't think the original sponsor ever leaves you, so there's no, like, game over thing where you just can't race at all. He will always give you 400, even if you can't race. Because he's your shady uncle. Not the bird sign. Okay. Yeah, it's a strategy game hidden behind a racing game. This is really a detailed money management simulator. The racing is just a mini game, pretty much. Okay, that was one lap. Out the way, dude. Which means we're coming up to the next of kin sign. So let's see, take this slow. Hit the brakes, okay. It's not just me, right? That corner is lethal. That is a bad corner. See, I can play safe and not hit the signs, but not hitting the other races is a lot harder. Okay. I almost braked into that tree. Broke into that tree. I almost broke into that tree and took the money out of its safe. Because I think I remember trying to cheese this as a kid. Because I couldn't do it legitimately. I had the starting sponsor who never leaves you. And I had a broken frame and I just hit the race button over and over again. Saving up millions and millions until I could afford all the upgraded gear. My frame is broken. We didn't make it, guys. I did my best, I swear. I hardly crashed at all that time. That's unfair. It was the other racers. They were crashing into me. Look at this. Okay, so it looks like there's, what was that, 6 races to a season? I'm imagining I have to sweep the season to get new stuff. Okay, everything is repaired and upgraded. This is a fresh start for us, okay? We just gotta win this race without breaking anything. And then we'll be able to afford some upgrades. We'll be able to get new tyres and still have a bit to put away for future repairs. This is going to work out for us, guys. This is a new start. This is a fresh beginning. Us, Miki, and creepy Uncle Pharmacy. We're going to make it to the big time. Didn't hit the signs, didn't hit the signs. Just need to not hit too many things so that my frame doesn't need replacing, because that costs a fortune. Can you believe how much it costs to get a new outside of the bike? It's not like I'm getting a new engine. I'm keeping the old battered engine. It's just like the skin, the flesh, the shell. All I don't want the skeleton, I just want the flesh of the bike. All I want is bike skin. That should be cheap and easy to get. It's just a block of metal. It's the engine that does all the work. You like the leaning over animation? Oh, the leaning over animation in this game is classic. That's what makes the game. Look at that one where he goes all the way down with his knee to the floor. Hey, this was the height of graphics at the time. Look at how much this bike moves. You know what Nintendo were putting out at this time? Excite Bike. That had two poses. It had the guy on the ground and the guy going up a ramp. Dang it, Sega does what Nintendo don't. May even be made of plastic. I think this frame might be made of plastic. It's lasting about that long. It stays iron frame. Okay, I hit the bird sign. That's bad for us. That's not ideal. Am I paying extra for an iron frame and they're just giving me a crappy plastic one instead? Am I getting swindled at the mechanic shop? Is that why this is going bad? See the guy shift his bum from side to side? Yeah. Do some wiggling. Okay, we're ahead of the rival. So we just need to take... The rival's not even crossed the line. Oh, wow, we're miles ahead this time. Not crashing into things appears to be a successful strategy in races. I did not touch that. There was like a foot between me and the sign. Come on, that's not fair. Somebody set up a tripwire. It's Dick Dastardly. He's rigged the race. I want a new bike and a new racetrack. They look like they're coming off their bikes, yeah. They completely throw their weight from one side to another to lean into the turn. I mean, I've never watched any pro biking, but I believe it. Honestly, all I know about pro biking comes from playing this game as a kid. So I assume that pro biking is exactly like this. Okay. Ah, my muffler! You jerk! You rammed my muffler off! Stop it! I need to get a better muffler. That thing comes off in a gentle breeze. Okay, we're coming up to the bird turn, I believe. We want to take this one slow. Is it this one or... Yeah, it's this one, look. Want to not go too fast here. You had a scooter that you dropped once and cracked the plastic shell. That is the kind of bike I'm riding. It creaks when I get onto it. That's the kind of bike this is. Like, it says an iron frame. Could we not get a steel frame? Like, is there some advantage that iron has over steel? Let me go into this. I've got an iron frame, yeah. It's cheap crap. No wonder it takes ages to get back up after a crash. It's too heavy. You get better ones. You get aluminium ones, titanium. But at the moment we're stuck with the iron cradle. Okay, well, we can't afford to. We're gonna have to get 2 races to a frame. Otherwise this isn't gonna work out. Gotta replace the muffler. I always do that, I hit the wrong button every time. Backed into your house and cracked your bumper, realised that was plastic too. I misread that at first. I thought you backed into your house and realised that your house was plastic. I was like, 8 million for the titanium alloy frame, yeah. That's a steep frame. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We replace this muffler. Still got 900. If we can finish the next race, we can get the next frame, which should be more durable. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, I've lost. Yes, you have. I just want to get a legitimate... I feel like I'll have won this game if I can get a legitimate sponsor. Somebody who's not my creepy uncle. Finally we won a race on that track, so we can move on to the next one. But yeah, is there some reason that they even make iron frames instead of steel frames? Is steel not better than iron at everything? When was this frame made? Like 400 CE? I don't actually know when steel was discovered. When was steel invented? Yeah, I would think. I would think that we'd have a steel frame instead of an iron one. Why would you still use iron for anything? Probably riding motorbike chitty chitty bang bang. I've not found any cool gadgets yet. So I don't think that this is a sapient Bond car. You know, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was written by the same guy who wrote James Bond. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is just... It's a sapient James Bond car, right? It's escaped from MI5 and gone off on its adventure. Cheap steel, 19th century, but it's been used for a ridiculously long time. Yeah. It's kind of what I mean. Oh, I was braking and everything. No, not the frame, not the frame. Oh, there goes my plan. Everything is ruined, guys. We're never going to get out of the shadow of creepy uncle. Can't afford the... Shouldn't I change brake? Shouldn't you change the brake? I need to get a better mechanic. The original Chitty Chitty Bang Bang didn't have cool gadgets. It was a tin can that crashed and got abandoned. Okay. I don't remember the story of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's been such a long time. I think they had steel for... I think they knew of steel for a really long time, but they didn't know how to make it. Like the whole meteor iron thing. They knew certain circumstances produce steel, but they couldn't replicate it. But I feel like expensive steel products, like King's having steel swords, has been around for a long time. I just don't know exactly when. It's weird, actually. Like, most of the metals, I feel like I can approximate when they came out. Take a guess at it, because it comes up in history, but steel does... Even though it's like the metal, it doesn't have that space in my brain. Yeah, it was one of Fleming's early books. I think it was before he wrote the James Bond series. But you can... Once you know what you're looking for, you can see the similarities. They had steel in 300 BC amongst the Celts and the Chinese. Okay. Like stuff that they made themselves, that's... I guess that feels about right. There wasn't that huge a gap between people getting reasonable at working iron and figuring out steel, I guess. It was a tin can that crashed and got abandoned, then adopted by two adorably ill-behaved kids and their crazy father, who gave it a new engine and a ton. I guess my question is, was their crazy father Q? Brake, brake, brake! Oh. These brakes are terrible. I don't really feel any deacceleration when I hit those brakes. That's gotta go on the upgrade list. Steel is just hard and expensive, yeah. It's hard to get the right materials for it. You need an expert who could actually make steel that wouldn't splinter, and because if you do it wrong, then it just goes horrible. And then even the experts, it'd probably take them a few tries back in those days because they hadn't really got the process down. Okay, that was my bad. I was looking at chat. I should have known that the awful turn was coming up. Told stories about the ton of gadgets he wished he could invent. He got his chance. He got to work with... For MI5, they gave him a huge budget. He made all kinds of crazy stuff. It's not surprising they'd put some effort into upgrading iron, because iron is not actually better than bronze for most things. Like, iron was a revolution because once you know how to get iron out of the stone, iron is everywhere, it's cheap and easy to work. Having iron meant that they could make lots of things out of metal that would have been too expensive to make out of bronze. But in terms of actual usability, bronze mostly makes better quality stuff. It's just that bronze uses multiple ingredients, all of which are hard to get. So yeah, I can definitely see the logic behind them getting iron and thinking, okay, can we upgrade this iron somehow? Can we make iron good? Because if we can make iron as good as bronze, but still as cheap as iron, then that's going to be crazy. And the solution is steel, kind of. Took us a long time to figure out the details, but... yeah, it was probably a factor that by that time they were very experienced at working bronze and didn't know what they were doing with iron. But I mean, bronze itself is an ally, so obviously once they get iron, they're immediately going to try and ally it with things. I mean, steel's not an intuitive ally. You're basically allying steel with itself somehow. but it's a thing. What are our parts looking like? The frame's dangerous, the engine's dangerous, the brake has to be changed, the muffler has to be changed. The tyres are dangerous. Everything is wrecked, guys. I think we're committed to this game. I think we've got 20 more minutes until the end of the stream. We've got to get ourselves a better sponsor by then, otherwise we'll be stuck with our uncle forever. At least the oil doesn't need changing. Oil never needs changing. I knew that mechanic was a liar. Truly, this is the most Greek torment of all. This is our hubris. Always driving to break free, yet never escaping. We're driving a bike to break free of this cycle, but each time our frame breaks. This is Zeus's final punishment, the third and most terrible of the evils he's unleashed upon us tonight. This has been Mythology Evening. We have faced the wrath of the gods and we're still going. Okay, we're never getting out of this cycle if we don't upgrade something. I'm going to get the next level of tyres. Because the tyres need changing anyway. Every time. Okay. Let's get the brake and the muffler. Yeah, this is the third game of the night. We're playing. These were the 3 games on the Mega Drive, the first Mega Drive collection, the first Mega Pack, I think it was called. And 3 games on 1 cartridge: Columns, Altered Beasts, and Super Hang-On. The theme being that they're all based around the Greco-Roman hell. These are all torments that you'd find in Hades. Playing these 3 games is how the Greek gods tortured their dead. This game is making my thumbs hurt in a way that most games don't. Because I'm just holding down the button instead of pressing buttons. I'm just sitting here with my thumb on the accelerator, not letting go. If I can win one more race, I can upgrade the bike. Oh no, my frame is broken. It's tantalizing, it's Sisyphean, and Promethealizing all at the same time. It's like, there's cool upgrades I could potentially get that are always out of my reach. Every time I try and win the race, my frame breaks and I'm back at the start. Oh no, the insides are broken, and I have to pay money to fix them. This is like having my guts torn out by an eagle every morning. It's the trifecta. We've seen elements of this in the other 2 games. That was Zeus warming up. This is Zeus had his practice. We have settled into our final torment, our final hubris. See, it combines all the elements, because in the first game, there was no win condition. You played until you died, and your hubris was that as you get better at the game, you're forced to play it for longer. The second game was torment in that there was a win, but it was always out of reach. You played until you gave up and admitted failure. And this game combines it, because there is an ending that's always out of reach, but also it's a game that just keeps on going because there's no fail condition. You can't lose in this mode. You have to play until you win, and that win is always... You have to play until you win until you reach the goal, like in Columns where you play until you die. But the goal's always out of reach, like in Altered Beast where the second boss is impossible. This is the final true torment. The game that cannot be bested. The final horror unleashed by Zeus upon the world. This is my punishment for my sins. I shall play this game for all eternity. Okay, I'm ahead of the rival. No! You jerk! My frame! My frame! I was doing great! I'd hardly hit anything! I was beating the rival by loads. I could have taken it easy in the second lap. Zeus! Why did you disguise yourself as a racer and crash into me? You did this to me, Zeus. You did this to me. What did we do to end up in Tartarus like this? I don't know. I like to joke that I know what I did wrong, but this time I don't think I do. I don't feel I've done anything to deserve this. I don't think anybody has done anything to deserve this. Even if I have gambled enough to become Hitler, does Hitler deserve to play this game for all eternity? If it's Zeus in disguise, it's lucky that crashing into me was all he did. Well, I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but since that race I've kind of been feeling this glow. Okay, I've repaired the frame, we've still got the upgraded tyres, the engine's about to break, but the engine seems to be durable because it's not broken all this time, even though we've had to replace it a couple of times. We can pull this back. We can pull this back. I said Hitler, people have got a drink. Lady Meow is now the drinking game manager. If I say Hitler, if I crash into the next of kin sign, or if my frame breaks, everybody take a drink. Those are the rules. Next of kin spark plugs. I bet next of kin are getting all kinds of publicity out of how often I crash into that sign. That's why the sign gets repaired every time. They're making a fortune off it. It makes the news every single time. I'm the laughing stock of the country, but next of kin's shares are through the roof. Get back on the road, get back on the road. I don't know if these tires are actually helping. Do tires help me turn? I feel like they should. They've got more grip. I've gone from the $300 tires to the $400 tires. It's probably not a huge gap. The next tires are like $1,500. Those I'd expect some difference from. We had left-wing politics yet? I don't think so. Angel isn't here tonight, so it's not really come up. I mean, I only discussed Hitler because it came up naturally. Okay, this is the slam the brake sound. This is the bird sign. You need a bird. You got to have two birds because two birds can do. Because you need those two birds because two can what one can't. Too busy ragging on Elon Musk on Facebook. Is that what he's actually doing tonight instead of watching my stream? I mean, on the one hand, that's outrageous and I'm really hurt that he'd do such a thing. But on the other hand, Elon Musk is kind of awful. If we didn't already talk left-wing politics before you got here, you're going to have to wonder if someone is ill. Now that you mention it, I'm running on like 2 hours sleep and 5 cups of coffee today. Doing the stream has actually woken me up. I feel okay now, but earlier on I was a wreck. Ask Novellon, when he tuned in while I was doing columns, how sick did I sound? I felt a mess earlier. Elon Musk is a bad deodorant. Yeah, I got to sleep at like 4 in the morning and woke up at 7. And I've been at work today. That was not a fun shift. Not at the best I've ever been, but hey, we've gotten through it. I didn't think I was going to get through this stream, but playing these games and talking to you guys has perked me up a bit. I'm having fun tonight. Strangely, having fun can make you feel better. I guess laughter really is the very best medicine. Don't hit the sign, don't hit the sign. Oh, come on, I did not hit that. Ah, the muffler's gone. I need to get a better muffler. I need a muffler that's actually attached instead of just hanging on at the back. How much does that cost me? Elon Musk is one of those guys who's like, seems like a nice guy, involved in, modern science, technology advancing, charity work. Seems like somebody you could like until you realize how self-absorbed he is in that charity work. Like the good deeds and stuff he's doing are purely him invested in making himself seem like a good guy. Like, look up the story with him and those kids that were trapped underground, and it is hard to cheer for him after reading that. Okay, we won the race anyway. What parts have we got? Frame has to be changed, the engine has to be changed, brake has to be changed, the muffler has to be changed. I'm inclined to go along with Lady Meow and say the muffler doesn't do anything. I'll say that until he's King of Mars. Like, I feel like the charity work is undone by the fact that he spent millions putting his car in space. You could have given that to starving kids. Do I get a new frame? I think I get a new frame. Now we've got better tires, we need to save up more, I guess. Yeah, he had his engineers design a submarine to rescue the kids and posted on all kinds of social media and did news reports about how he was going to be the one to save the kids with this miniature submarine that he was paying to have designed. Well, he actually said that this miniature submarine that he was making, but he doesn't actually design and make his own stuff. Then he sent it over and the people were like, this thing is a ludicrous joke that isn't actually small enough to get there and wouldn't be safe to use even if it was. We're just going to get them out of the way that we've been planning to do this whole time. Then after a bunch of heroic divers got in there, rescued every single person inside, one person even died saving those kids. And they got all of them out. They're like legitimate heroes. He started spending all his time on social media slamming the rescuers. Talking about how they'd taken stupid risks and done all this dangerous stuff when they should have just used his submarine all along because he'd made a real hero's invention, something that would have saved the day. Like, no, that's not what it was about, dude. This wasn't a competition to see who could be more heroic. Some military divers or your machines. This was an attempt to, you know, save the lives of a whole bunch of children. Focus on what's important here. That's what I mean about him. He's self-absorbed is all it is. Caught up in his own superiority. His hubris. He's damned by his own hubris. So yeah, my basic understanding of Elon Musk is that he's really likable until you know anything about him. Won't be how History on Mars records it. Well, yeah, that's probably not how it's going to go down. Much like we are. Yeah, playing this game is exactly like the stuff Elon Musk did. Me hitting these signs over and over again is just like him putting his car into space instead of saving lives. That's why I hate him. I hate him because he reminds me of me. You know, if I was a better person, I'd be doing this stream entirely for the purpose of entertaining the public, instead of mostly doing it to entertain the public and also kind of hoping that people watch it and enjoy it and like what I produce. Like, I'm taking pride in my work. It's unacceptable. That's my hubris. I shouldn't be enjoying this. I should be suffering through my work. But to be fair, I've taken one step closer to that tonight by playing these 3 games. I've managed to work a little bit of suffering into my gaming schedule. Saved those kids despite the evil divers who opposed him. They actively sabotaged his submarine. He was personally piloting the submarine that he built himself through those tunnels, and the divers who didn't want to see somebody else rescue the kids, they were swimming after him, hacking at his submarine with knives and swords, and it was this awful, violent scene that he braved his way through. That's how the history of Musk, the 4th planet from the sun, will record it. That's how things will be known on the Red Planet, Planet Musk. I think losing the muffler makes me accelerate slower. It feels like the bike lags once the muffler's gone. Okay, I feel like I battered the frame a little bit, but I think maybe we still turned a profit on this one. If every race could be this good, then we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in. It's going to have them sculpt his face on the surface. Oh yeah. Once he's King of Mars, he's absolutely going to build Mount Muskmore. It'll be 3 pictures of Elon Musk's face and 1 of his car. The frame's still running great. We didn't break it this time. I mean, the muffler's broken. We need to replace the engine and the brake. That was a successful race. We made 300 on that race. I mean, it's 11 o'clock, which is the timer that we set for ourselves. We didn't get a new sponsor, so we're forever going to be stuck under the thumb of our creepy uncle, Uncle Pharmacy. But we've gotten good enough that we're making a little bit of a profit, you know. We're always going to be bottom tier races, but maybe us and Miki, we can eke out a life for ourselves. It's not going to be too bad. Who knows, maybe someday Zeus will curse us again and we'll return to this game. We'll return to Super Hang-On. I think I'll go ahead and make a save so we can come back to it. I'm using a save state, but the game actually does give you a password to get back to where you were. But that's going to be us for tonight. Sounds like the start of an underdog story. Kinda does. The rundown racer just barely getting by. His best friend and mechanic helping him along. And his creepy Uncle Pharmacy, his only source of money, having to make deals with the devil, smuggle drugs to keep racing. This could be an epic tale. We need to come back to this someday. But not just now. I think I've had all I can take. I gotta go collapse somewhere, guys. But I hope this has not been too terrible a stream, despite how wrecked I was when I started it. I've had fun. You guys have kept me going through this. I really appreciate it.